Dear students, Sat Shri Akal. Welcome to my YouTube channel. In today's video, we have come up with the revision of class 11th, Computer Science, Lesson 5 and Lesson 6. You know that the Punjab School Education Board is going to conduct the November-December monthly examination. We have prepared this video keeping this exam in mind. Before proceeding with this video, I request you that if you have not subscribed to my channel yet, please subscribe to this channel and don't forget to click on the bell icon so that you will be notified of all my upcoming videos. So let's get started. First of all, we take a look at the paper pattern of class 11, subject Computer Science. A paper of a total of 12 marks will appear from class 11, lesson 5, DBMS, which will have 4 questions of 1 mark, 3 questions of 4 marks and 1 choice question, and no question of 6 marks will come from this lesson. Similarly, a paper of total 13 marks will come from lesson 6, concept of programming and programming languages, in which 3 questions of 1 marks, 1 question of 4 marks and 2 questions of 6 marks will come from this lesson, out of which 1 question will be asked. So by keeping this paper pattern, student can score well in the exam. So now let us start the review of lesson 5 and lesson 6 through this video. So we will now learn about true or false in lesson number 5. The first one is collection of related record of number of different students can be treated as database. Wrong. Second one is the database is used to retrieve, insert and delete the data efficiently. Right. Third one is DBMS is a computerized record keeping system. True. Fourth one is database management system is hardware. False. And the last one is database management system is used to manage the database. True. So now we will learn about very short answer type question. So first question is related information of a particular item may be treated as, and the right answer is record. Second one is the collection of files or table is known as, and the right answer is database. Third one is DBMS stand for, and the right answer is database management system. And the fourth one is who are the group of people who actually work on the designing part of the database, and the right answer is designer. And the fifth one is who maintain the DBMS and are responsible for administrating the database, and the right answer is database administrator. So now we will learn about short answer type question. So the first question is explain the application area of DBMS. The application area of DBMS are, the first one is DBMS is used to keep track of student information, registration, courses and grades in educational institutions. Second one is DBMS is used in bank to store information on customer account activities, payments and loans. And the last one is DBMS is used to keep track of call record, monthly bills, arrears in telecommunication, etc. And the second question is define about DBMS working. So DBMS is a computerized record keeping system. DBMS store the data in such a way that it is easy to retrieve information from the database, modify the data and create information. Different type of database user use this data for different purposes, retrieve the data and back it up according to their rights. And the third question is what do you mean by end user? End user are the user who interact with the database management system. End user perform various tasks on the database such as retrieving, updating, deleting, analyzing data, etc. End user can range from the general audience to intelligent user like business analyst. And the fourth one is define the two-tier DBMS architecture in DBMS. The two-tier DBMS architecture consists of an application layer, between the user and the DBMS, which is responsible for communicating the user request to the database management system and then replaying to the user from the DBMS. And the fifth one is, what is a cloud database? A cloud database is a database based on a cloud computing platform. A cloud database is a database that is created, installed, and accessed in the cloud environment. You can choose between two ways to run your database in the cloud. The first one is platform as a service, and second one is database as a service. So now we will learn about long answer type question in lesson number 5. So the first question is, explain the feature of database management system. The feature of database system are, first one is data consistency. Data consistency means that the data in the database is consistent and accurate. This is important because DBMS has a lot of databases. All of these databases contain data that is visible to many users. Therefore, it is important to ensure that the data in all databases is consistent and accurate for all users. And the second one is data security. Data security is an important concept in a database. Only authorized users should be allowed access to the database and their identification should be verified using a username and password. Unauthorized user should not be allowed to access the database under any circumstances. And the third one is data sharing. In a database, the user of the database can share data among themselves. There are several levels of data access rights, and as a result, the data can only be shared based on valid authentication protocols. Many remote users can simultaneously access the database and share the data with each other. And the fourth one is reducing the data redundancy. So file-based data management system contains a large number of files, data stored in a single system or in many different locations across multiple systems. Because of this, there were sometimes multiple copies of the same file, which led to data redundancy. It is blocked in a database because there is a single database and any change in it is immediately reflected. Because of this, there is no chance of encountering duplicate data. And the second question is, explain the limitation of database management system. So the limitation of database management system are, the first one is more expensive. So creating and managing a database is very expensive. Database require high cost software and hardware. Maintaining a database also requires highly trained staff and constant maintenance. All of this make a database a very expensive venture. And the second one is high complexity. A database management system is quite complex as it involves creating, modifying, and editing a database. As a result, the people who manage or work with the database must be highly skilled, or else valuable data may be lost. And the third one is database handling staff requirement. As discussed in the previous point, database and DBMS are quite complex. Therefore, skilled personnel are required to maintain the database so that it works in optimal condition. This is a costly undertaking as these professionals need to be well paid. And the fourth one is database failure. All relevant data for any company are stored in one database. Therefore, it is important that the database work in a favorable condition and there are no failure. Failure of a database can be catastrophic and lead to loss of critical data. And the third question is, explain the architecture of DBMS. A database management system is not always directly available for user to access and store the data between applications. A database management system can be centralized, decentralized, or serialized depending on its architecture. So the architecture of DBMS is divided into 3 tiers. So let's discuss about the first tier. So in one tier architecture, DBMS is the only unit where the user sits on and uses DBMS directly. Any changes made here will be made directly to the DBMS. It does not provide easy access to end user. Database designer and programmer generally prefer to use single tier architecture. And the second one is two tier architecture. In two-tier DBMS architecture consists of an application layer between the user and DBMS, which is responsible for communicating the user request to the database management system and sending the response to the user from the free DBMS. And the third one is three-tier. Three-tier DBMS architecture is the most commonly used architecture for web application. This is an extension of two-tier architecture. In two-tier architecture, we have an application layer that can be programmatically accessed to perform various tasks on DBMS. And the fourth question is, explain in detail about database lifecycle. Database lifecycle is based on a software development model, a set of functions used to develop application software. The following steps are required to develop a software. The first one is planning. So analyzing the problem and defining it is called planning. Second one is requirement. It converts the need of the user. Third one is design. It prepares the physical and logical design required by the user. Fourth one is development. It is designed to suit the need of the user. And the fifth one is implementation. The database is loaded into the user systems. And the sixth one is testing. It involves running the database on different platforms and testing it by entering different values in the database. And the seventh one is installation and maintenance. The maintenance team is entrusted with the task of managing the database to fix the problem and counter and improve the database. And the fifth question is, make the chart about hierarchy of the database. So as shown in the figure, first there come bit, then byte, then field, then record, then file, then database. So now we will learn about multiple choice question in lesson number 6. So our first question is, set of instructions is called dash and their option are groups, software, program or none of these. And the right answer is, the set of instructions is called program. And the second one is, which language is directly understood by computer without any translation? And their option are procedural oriented language, machine language, assembly language, and the last one is high level language. And the right answer is, machine language is directly understood by computer without any translation. And the third one is, mnemonic code and symbolic addresses are used in which programming language? And their option are object oriented language, non-procedural language, third one is assembly language, and last one is machine language. And the right answer is, mnemonic code and symbolic addresses are used in assembly language. And the fourth one is, which translator does not save object code after translation of source program written in high level language? And their option are translator, compiler, assembler and interpreter. And the right answer is, interpreter translator does not save object code after translation of source program written in high level language. And the fifth one is, the process of finding and correcting errors in a program is called dash and their option are compilation, coding, debugging or documentation. And the right answer is, the process of finding and correcting errors in a program is called debugging. So now we will learn about fill in the blank in lesson number 6. So first fill in the blank is a person who writes the program is called programmer. And second one is low level internal detail of hardware are required for programming in dash, and the right answer is low level. And the third one is dash is the pictorial representation of algorithm, and your answer is flowchart. And the fourth one is the process of translating source program written in high level language into object code is called dash, and the right answer is compilation. And the fifth one is those errors which are not detected by the compiler are called dash error, and the right answer is logical errors. So now we will learning about full forms. So the first full form is opcode. Opcode stands for operational code. Second one is operand. Operand stands for operation address. Third one is 4GL. 4GL stands for fourth generation language. Fourth one is SQL. SQL stands for structured query language. Fifth one is OOP. OOP stands for object oriented programming. So now we will learn about short answer type questions. So first question is what is programming? So programs are basically a set of instructions that can be understood by a computer to perform a task. The process of writing a program is called programming. That person write to program, he is called a programmer. When a program write a program, he goes through a special process. This process of creating a program is called a programming process. And second one is what are procedure-oriented programming language? So procedure-oriented programming language are called third generation language of computer programming languages. To create program in procedural languages, it is divided into smaller procedure. Each procedure contains a series of instructions for carrying out a specific task. Example of some well-known procedural languages are Fortran, COBOL, Pascal, C, etc. And the third one is write the name of different symbols used in the flowchart. So name of the various symbols used in the flowchart are, the first one is oval. Oval is used for terminal. Second one is parallelogram. Parallelogram is used for input or output operation. Third one is rectangle. Rectangle is used for processing. Fourth one is rhombus. Rhombus used for diamond. The fifth one is arrows. Arrow is used for flow lines. Sixth one is circle. Circle is used for connector. And the fourth question is write the steps used in the programming process. The name of the steps used in programming process are, the first one is define the problem to be solved. Second one is develop a plan for solving the problem. Third one is coding for solution in high level language. Fourth one is compiling the program. Fifth one is testing and debugging the program. And sixth one is documenting the program. And the fifth question is what are syntax error? Syntax error occur when we do not use rules or syntax that are necessary for programming language. Such errors are automatically detected during compile time. A program is not successfully compiled until all syntax errors in the program have been corrected. For example, we are writing init a. So init is a data type and a is a variable which is of integer type. So after writing init a, we are not mention the semicolon. So here after a variable, semicolon is missing, which depict as syntax error. So when we are writing again init a, then semicolon, so it's shown correct. So syntactically it is correct. So now we will learning about long answer type question. So the first question is what are low level programming language? Explain their advantages and disadvantages. So machine and assembly language are called low level languages. These languages can communicate directly with computer hardware. These devices are used to develop drivers, kernel for operating system, high performance code, etc. So low level programming is as under the first one is machine language. Machine language is also called binary language. This language is also called the first generation language of computer programming language. Machine language is the primary language of computer system because the language is understood directly by the computer system. This language is made up of two binary digits, that is 0 and 1. And the second one is assembly language. Assembly language is also called sign language. This is because the language uses instruction nouns instead of binary code. This language is also considered as the second generation language of computer programming languages. The main advantages of assembly language over machine language is that it reduces the time spent coding and also reduces the information to be memorized by the programmer. So benefit of low level language are, the first one is low level language can be understood directly by a computer without any translation. Second one is low level language can be worked fast by computer without any delay. Disadvantages of low level languages are, the first one is it takes a long time to find error in low level language. Second one is knowledge of the internal structure of hardware is essential for programming in low level language. Third one is low level program cannot be run on computer with different configuration, as such program are machine dependent programs. So next question is, what are language translator? Explain any one translator in detail. So language translator are system program that help create other programs. Language translator are also called language processors. Language processor or language translator have two main functions. First, to translate source program into object code, and second, to detect syntax error in the source program. Assembler, interpreter, and compiler are prime example of language translator. So the first one is interpreter. The interpreter takes one statement at a time of high-level language program and convert it into machine instruction, and these machine instructions are immediately implemented by the processor. In this, we have to translate the program every time we have to run the program. So as you see in the figure, when the program is written in high-level language, it is given as an input and the interpreter read all the high-level language program and convert it into program result. The interpreter does not require much memory to translate and run the program. The main disadvantage of interpreter is that they require a lot of time to run on the computer system, because whenever a program is run, its source program is translated every time. And the next question is, what is an algorithm? Describe the different features that an algorithm should have. And the answer is, the process of solving any problem in a systematic way is called algorithm. With this, we first solve the problem by dividing it into smaller parts. An algorithm has limited steps and result in every case. But when the steps given in the algorithm are correct and work is done accordingly, the required output is obtained. Before creating a program, a programmer first sets the algorithm so that he can see the possible option for solving the given problems. So the different feature that an algorithm should have, the first one is every step must be right. Second one is every step should be clear, meaning it, and should not have a double meaning. The third one is the input and output should be carefully determined. Fourth one is step should be repeated indefinitely. And the fifth one is after implementing the steps, the required output should be obtained in any case. And the next question is, describe the different type of error in computer program. So errors in a computer program are called bug, and the process of finding and correcting these errors is called debugging. Syntax and logical error are found in computer program, which are described below. So the first kind of computer error are syntax error. Syntax error occur when we do not use rules or syntax that are necessary for programming language. These type of error are automatically detected by a compiler during the compilation process. A program cannot be successfully compiled until all syntax error in the program have been corrected. Some example of syntax error are not applying semicolon, forgetting to declare variable, not applying compound statement, etc. And the second one is logical error. Logical error occur when there are error in the logic of the program. If there are no logical error in our program, it will be successfully compiled, but it may produce erroneous result or output. Such error cannot be detected by the compiler. These errors can be detected by the programmer himself, or some debugging tools can be used to detect such errors. The programmer can also find out the wrong logic by checking the output. So student, I hope you have revised lesson 5 and lesson 6 through this video very well. I hope you will get good marks in the paper. Thank you.